This is Daytona USA for the Sega Saturn. Previously, I had reviewed the Dreamcast version of this game. That game, supposedly, was close to arcade as possible, so it's a good reference to use for this review. So, this is a racing game, and has 3 tracks to choose from. This is a lot less than the Dreamcast version, which I think has 6 or 8. I don't quite remember. I believe that you can only drive a couple of cars, but yet again it is also less than the Dreamcast version. The tracks and cars that are in the Saturn version look very similar to the Dreamcast version, but at a much lower pixel density. The layout of the tracks are also the same. One main difference between the two games is the controller. The brake and speed are buttons on the Saturn controller, but are triggers in the Dreamcast, which is better. Also, steering is done with the D-pad, while on the Dreamcast it is using the analog stick. Nothing really a Saturn can do about that, but I wonder at least could this game have used the Nights into Dreams analog controller? Surprisingly, I like the D-pad on the Saturn better than the analog stick of this Dreamcast for some reason. Graphically, obviously this game is a downgrade. Frame rate is not that great, probably hovering around 15 to 20 FPS, which is not great, but playable to me. Background pop-ins are also pretty noticeable, but the pop-in is quite far, so you're never really in danger of making a bad turn based on what's on the screen. While the overall graphics don't look as good, they look pretty good for an early Saturn game. The Daytona USA song is pretty catchy. Overall, I think this game was an early launch title for the Sega Saturn. It actually has, I think, pretty good graphics for the time, and they were trying to bring home the arcade experience from a $10,000 machine. I would give it a 7 out of 10.